Hello and welcome to episode 41 of the Nintendo Review Podcast. We had a glorious comeback last week for E3, and now we're here for 41. E3 is all done, it's all finished, Treehouse is done, everyone's gone home. Before we get going, last week when we chatted about this, I asked how people were feeling. Greg said, I think 4 or 5.
Oh, generous. It's a 3.
3. Lee, who's usually Mr. Optimist,
I was on a 5.
Said
a 4 or 5.
4.
Yeah, I can't
Or was
remember,
you
4 or
5?
5 yeah.
Nick ripped into what Nintendo were going to show. Like, oh, they're not going to do anything. This is going to get delayed. They're not going to announce anything new. It's what's your hype? 9.
7, actually. It was a 7.
No,
Or
I'm
8,
sure it
I
was
can't
9.
remember.
I think it was an 8, to be fair.
Okay, well, I said an 8. So it's gone. Now it's happened. Greg, is it still a 3?
It's probably an 8.5.
Wow.
Oh my god. It's the highest review you've ever given anything. Lee.
If you sat around for 45 minutes listening to me on the impressions, you would have heard me at the end say I was quite deflated. And there's reasons for it, which we'll probably talk about quickly later, but there was a load of games, but they didn't show anything from them. It's like, hey, this is you. Not actual game footage. So in the end, it was like, I didn't, it showed Doom Eternal, didn't show actual game footage. Showed this, didn't show actual game. It's just like...
Did you see the rest of E3? Because this was like... You've never seen so much gameplay as Nintendo's going for it. So it's surprising you saying that, but that's fair enough.
So at the end of it, I was feeling like I was just a 5.
Still a 5, so you predicted right.
Yeah.
You miserable git. Nick, Mr. 9.9.
No, I would say about an 8, to be honest.
About an 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was very good. Very good.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting like how you feel at the time and then on reflection and things like that. So I think... it's a tricky one. I've been going up and down. I think I'll probably land at about an 8. It's hard. It's hard. Maybe a 9. Between 8, I don't know, 8. Let's say 8. So Greg, you're the most positive. Wow. Anyway, we'll talk about why we rate it so highly or why we rate it so lowly, what we loved, what we didn't love, what we wanted to see, what we didn't see, and all that. But first, the real reason we're here.
Yeah.
Greg, the game. So
I don't even like games anymore. Like it doesn't actually bother.
is Lee going to win the first ever game for him?
I doubt
highly doubtful.
Okay. Well, I hope you've not cheated in find out. So one by one again. Start from the beginning and we'll see how it goes. I'm excited.
I don't know the results other than the fact that I'm almost 100% sure and it's not me. So anyway, the first question was...
But you was also 100% sure there was going to be no banjo, so you never know.
Mm. Will Animal Crossing begin the presentation? We all said no, apart from me, so...
Great start.
Great start. Will it last longer than 7 minutes? Again, we all said no, apart from Lee.
Yeah.
He thought we'd go in depth, so Lee loses a point there.
Well, Nintendo lost a point, didn't they? With their delay of Animal Crossing, they lost $1 billion in revenue.
Did they really?
No, not in revenue. Not in revenue.
Not in revenue. Sorry, revenue's the wrong word. In stock
Share
value,
prices,
share price.
Yeah. It'll go back up when it gets
Shareholders
released.
went mental.
Because shareholders are morons.
Yeah.
Will Luigi's Mansion 3 have a subtitle? We all thought it would. And it
Did
may
we all
still
say
get
yes?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all said yes.
Okay, good.
It may
So
still
it may
get
still
one, yeah.
get one, but for now, no points.
No
Will we
point.
see Waluigi holding a golf club? Me and Nick were optimistic about that one. And we were both wrong, of course.
Oh, Darren's gone in the lead.
I think
But what was he holding? He was holding something, wasn't he, in Mario and Sonic? Was
I don't know.
he was fencing, wasn't he, or something like that?
You could play golf with that. So, at the moment, that puts me bang in last place. Darren takes the lead. Will Snake be visible at any point? When I first watched it, I didn't actually notice Snake in it, but he was there.
and it was the
during-
briefest of glimpses when they're in the Smash
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, during the Dragon Quest reveal for Smash. So that would be a point for me. Point for Darren.
Darren's rocking it.
No points for Lee. And a point for Nick.
What's the score? How many questions in?
Right, so that's 5 questions in, so we'll do a recap. I've got 2 points, Darren's got 4 points, Lee's got 2 points, and Nick has got 3 points. So, still all to play for, apart from
Not
me,
much,
I
innit?
think.
No, it's only 2 points.
Okay. Will we see a remake or HD remaster of a GameCube game? This one frustrated me, because they showed Crystal Chronicles in the wee sizzle reel thing during the middle.
Certainly did.
They had no real need to show Crystal Chronicles in that, but they did anyway.
And
But
they
I'd
showed
actually-
it all blurry and jerky, and it looked terrible.
And for absolutely no reason, they showed Resident Evil remake.
Yeah, they showed Resident Evil for the GameCube, the HD one. Yeah. I said we wouldn't see one, and Nick said we wouldn't see one.
Well, did we really see a remake?
Oh, look at
Or is it just a
Crystal Chronicles is a
re-release
remake.
HD
Crystal
remaster.
Chronicles is a remake,
Yeah.
yeah.
of Crystal Chronicles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It couldn't be more of a remake.
It's just been cleaned up a wee bit.
Alright, fair enough.
Okay. Will something be available after or shortly after the Direct? We all said yes, and of course there was.
That was a strange one. Cadence of Hyrule coming out 2 days after the drive. Why 2 days? It couldn't
I
have
wonder
been.
if
Maybe
that's
they-
when the indie showcase.
They probably wanted to show it first.
And then in the indie showcase, where say, "Hey, it's out now. Go get your."
It's bizarre.
Shop on.
I'm not bothered though, because Nick said that for his bonus point.
Yes, indeed. And the bonus point was pretty much what did you think it would be? And I said it would be Raiden. Darren said it would be Banjo. Lee said Rare Replay, and Nick said Cadence of Hyrule. Obviously, Banjo was shown during the Direct, but it wasn't available shortly after, so unfortunately, no bonus point. Or fortunately. Will we see a new female character for Smash Brothers?
I'm so annoyed
We
at this
all
because I said Banjo and Kazooie was going to be revealed, but then I played averages and said no.
Yep. Nick was the only one who thought we would see one. So
Called it.
Another point for him, which still leaves me languishing in last place.
Just to clarify, if you didn't listen 2 weeks ago, Kazooie is a girl.
Will we see any footage of a SNES title? Obviously, we're kind of hoping that it'd maybe be like a SNES online service or something.
No.
But what we did see was a wee clip of Super Pro Protector and stuff during the
Secret of
Combat
Mana.
Collection footage
Yeah.
and Secret of Mana footage. So obviously we did see SNES footage, and Darren and Nick get a point for that, who are starting to stretch a wee bit of a lead ahead of me and Lee.
Again.
It's not good. That's 9 questions and I'm sitting on 3 points per. Will we see or hear the words Retro Studios?
Oh god.
Obviously we all said yes.
Oh good.
And
as long as we all did.
obviously
Did I say
we
yes,
didn't
really?
see it. Yeah. So
Not bad.
no points.
There's going to be one answer that's going to be really contentious. I know it is, but we'll get to there when we get there.
Yeah, so halfway point, I'm in last place with 3 points. Lee keeping up his smashing record. He's got 4 points. Nick on 6 points, and Darren 7 out of 10 so far.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
1 point in it. Oh god.
Yeah, there's 1 point in there at the bottom as well.
Will Ubisoft show a new game featuring a Nintendo IP? I said no. Darren said yes. Lee said no, and Nick said yes.
Why?
We've caught up a wee bit. Like,
Yeah.
Comebacks on.
I was actually kind of surprised. Ubisoft didn't really seem to have that much for the Switch, really, did they? Apart
Just
from
Dance?
Just Dance, and
Gods
even
and
Wii's getting
Monsters.
Just Dance. So
Yeah. They're skipping the Wii U though.
big surprise. Will Miyamoto be visible at any point during the Direct? We all said no, and we were all correct on that one. Will we see a game from Konami? Again, we all picked the same answer. We all said yes, and of course we all got a point on that one as well. Because of course we've seen the glorious looking Contra. What's it called?
Rogue Ops. Or something. Yeah.
Rogue
Ops.
Corp.
Rogue Corp.
It looks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm interested to see more, but it looks like a 3DS game. Let's be honest. Will Metroid Prime Trilogy HD end the Direct? And we all said no, so this is a bit of a boring section of the quiz here. We all went for the same answers.
You should have said, will it be in the direct? Then we may have had different answers.
So just transferring the answers over to the next page. Right.
High tech.
Will we see any new DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Darren and myself were feeling pretty optimistic about that. I thought it may show something to do with the Labo VR kit or something. They didn't show anything about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is obviously disappointing.
Oh no.
So Lee and Nick
all
get
gone
a point
wrong.
for that one, and that
It's all gone
takes Nick level at the top with Darren
Here
on
we
10
go.
points. Lee just behind on 9 points, and I'm languishing at the bottom with 7. Will a limited edition Switch be shown with new Joy-Con?
This
Now,
is the contentious one.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it is contentious because we did see one, but it wasn't during the direct.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the one we did see at
Darren's
I
going to
don't-
interject here because there were different videos for different regions.
was it the Japanese one that showed?
Yeah.
There's one in the Japanese one.
In the
And I'm sure we had a
Japanese direct,
conversation.
They showed the Fire Emblem Limited with the nice looking blue.
No, it's Dragon
blue
Quest.
Dragon Quest. Sorry, yes, Dragon Quest with the
Yeah.
nice blue Joy-Cons. Except they got slimes on them.
What did Nick say?
I think I said yes
Um,
as well, didn't I?
Lee was the only one who thought we wouldn't see one.
Yeah, we didn't. Well, I didn't.
Ah, it don't matter then, does it?
Yeah, I didn't. So,
Yeah. Will we see a limited edition Mario Watch
I'm not
Direct?
counting it. None of us seen it.
I don't care. Yeah.
So
If Nick said no, though, I'd have thought that one.
these are all tying on 10 points.
Oh.
It's getting tasty.
Say that again. Lee's caught up.
Yeah.
Yep, Lee's
While you been
got the
while you
last-
been sleeping. I've been
Hang on a
running.
minute. I'm contesting it again.
4 questions to go. Will a me be visible at any point? We've been through the direct a few times. And we couldn't find a me. Nintendo seems to be disregarding me's these days. They're finished, unfortunately. I said there wouldn't be one. Lee said there wouldn't be one. But Darren and Nick said there would be one. So it points for me and Lee. And Lee takes the lead.
First time ever.
3 questions to go. Will we hear the words, "Ain't you the go-go, baby"? Obviously we wouldn't hear that, but somebody had to say yes, and that somebody was me. Obviously, I thought we might see him in Smash or an NXT remake, but no. Points for everybody else apart from me, which means there's absolutely no chance of me making a comeback. But we knew that anyway. Will Travis Touchdown swing his beam katana?
Oh.
I said yes, and of course No More Heroes 3 came and we saw Travis swing his beam katana.
That
So
was
a point for me,
That was a surprise.
point for Nick, but no points for Lee and Darren.
It's close. Is there one more question or 2 more?
So, one more question. As it stands, I have 9 points. Darren has 11 points.
I had
and
7 out of 10.
Lee and Nick are joint top on 12 points. Question 20. Will a new Pikmin game appear that isn't called Pikmin 4?
Oh, we all said no on
We
this,
all,
didn't we, if I remember?
we all
Yeah.
said no. So, of course, we all got a point for that. Which means Lee and Nick are joint top. The reason I said it was interesting a few points ago was I saw that Darren and Lee had gave the same answers for the last 3 questions, so I knew Darren couldn't catch up. So yeah, 13 points apiece. How do we settle this one?
Tiebreaker.
Maybe we ask a question about the direct in the first person to answer.
Right, okay.
Go on then.
There was
Let's go for it.
the Fire Emblem section in the direct. We've obviously all seen it. How long did that section last from the moment the Fire Emblem footage started to the moment the Fire Emblem footage ended? What's your guess? Whoever's closest to the exact time wins.
Do you know the answer?
Hang
No,
on, wait. Let's
but
do
we
let's
will
do
find
this. Let's do this like this, because if I say something or if Lee says something, the other one can just
The
say
other will
more
go
or less.
higher or lower. Write
Should
it
we
down
write
on a
it,
piece
yeah?
of paper and flash it
All
on
right.
the camera. Good idea,
All
Nick.
right.
Good thinking alike. Right, I got
Good
it.
podcasting as well.
Yeah, brilliant.
Let's not tell them what you said either. Just say, oh, okay, that's a good answer. Okay, right. And then Greg finds out and then puts the answer on a bit of paper and shows us as well. And we all just go, oh, okay, yeah. And then we just say, oh, you won.
Da, 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 da. Right, I'm going quite low on this. Here's mine. Ready?
Right. Can you see it?
No.
Where is it?
No.
Ah, Nick went really
Interesting.
short. I've gone
45
So
seconds.
Lee went 2 minutes 26, and thinking that was low, and
Yeah.
Greg and Nick went. No, I thought it was on for 4 seconds.
45 seconds.
45.
Oh, 45. That was it. Yeah.
I actually thought yours was quite highly, but
Oh, really? Okay.
it could be somewhere in the middle here.
Oh,
But we'll see. We will see.
Oh, it was the first time. Luckily, I thought it looked amazing.
Oh, I found the
Yeah.
answer. Lee's one. It's 1:39.
139. It's shorter than I
Yeah.
thought. I thought that video went on quite a while. You're right, Darren. It's now blossomed in kind of that school we were all worried about in the beginning. That's just the start to get you used to the characters, and now there's a war happening. You know, it's all going down.
Exactly. Yeah. It looked incredible.
Yeah.
So
I
at
can't
1
be-
minute 39, that means
Jesus.
Lee's won. Lee has
I can't
won.
believe it was 1:39 because they didn't show any gameplay in that trailer.
No, it was all cartoon basically, wasn't it? Manga, anime.
Fair enough. Well done, Lee. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God, Lee has won. Although in my eyes, Nick was the real winner
Why?
because they definitely showed a switch in the Japanese direct. Yeah, well done, Lee. Well done. Good game. I enjoy stuff like that.
It's only taken me a year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, got there in the end. So E3 as a whole, I think me, Nick, and Greg were really pleased with it. I'm very surprised, Lee, that you weren't in love with it. I think we should start negative, and we'll build up to that. I can't believe we're going from you to Greg, not the other way around in this scenario, but that's what we're doing. So Lee, you said you felt deflated. Why? And then you kind of mentioned about didn't see much gameplay. Both of those comments baffle me. So elaborate, please.
Quickly flying through the direct, you got the Dragon Quest guy at the beginning, does nothing for me. Dragon Quest 11 does nothing for me. Then there was the Bowser skit, which was a bit, I introducing Doug Bowser. That was okay. Unfortunately, that was the only one. It was quite short. There wasn't the usual Nintendo humour in there. Throughout the
I think
rest
that was
of
the
it.
Nintendo humour.
That was it, yes. Luigi's Mansion 3 looked fantastic. That was one of the highlights of the show, the whole direct for me. And then there were a few disappointments then. Dark Crystal, couldn't care less. It looked a bit jerky, but that will come on. Legend of Zelda was one of the ones. Yes, it looks fantastic, and yes, I will pick it up. But I really was hoping for some more content. And their idea of content with the little arrange the dungeons sub game, it's just not enough. I wanted multiplayer. I wanted something extra in there. So that was a bit of a downer. Then Trials of Mana, couldn't be bothered. The Witcher, once again, 20 seconds of footage. I don't know what's it going to run like, what's it going to look like. It didn't show enough. Fire Emblem, yes, that's another highlight. Resident Evil 5 and 6, what a useless way to introduce 5 and 6 by showing Resident Evil 1. No More Heroes 3, that was cringeworthy to the point of being Suda. Was today the 4th of July, or is the Empire striking back? That was weird. Then there was just one, two, blah, 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 blah. All of them were kind of Astral Chain. Yes, I'm excited for Astral Chain. It just showed this little bit. It doesn't elaborate. Now, they did make up for it in the Nintendo Treehouse later, where they sat down and talked through the games, and then, my hype is building for certain games that it wasn't in the Direct. But it is the lack of things like, Alien Isolation's coming. Brilliant. But highlighted on lots of them as well, and even Doom Eternal, not actual game footage, so it's FMV. So how can I get hype for that? Yes, it's coming, but how can I get hype for something I've seen 10 seconds of, and it's only an FMV trailer?
Well, it's weird because everything you're saying that's negative about it, I see it as a positive about it. Because I'm like, I don't want to see Astral Chain for 5 minutes in a Nintendo Direct. I don't want to see Alien Isolation and Doom Eternal. I know that the fact that when I saw Alien Isolation, I was like, oh, awesome, it's a great game. I was just pleased it's coming. We'll find out how it runs later on. You know, it's like, it almost wouldn't mean much anyway, you know, because we could release it. It looks a bit dodgy, but it's months away, so they could improve it. For me, the speed of that direct, I loved it. I loved them just whipping through these games, game after game. I didn't want, and especially because they do the tree houses, but I didn't want to sort of like dwell on any games. I'm not that bothered. I just want game announcement after game announcement. Just keep them coming, and I guess even the stuff that I wasn't that bothered about, I guess I was just like, that's what's going to happen. That is going to happen. Yeah, I love the pace of it and how relentless it was. I did watch some of the press conferences, and they were cataclysmically awful this E3. I saw Microsoft's and I saw some others. They're really boring, really long, and they had like, which one was it? Ubisoft one. 30 minutes. You'd have loved it, Lee. You'd have loved it. 30 minutes. They'd announced one game, Watch Dogs. That was it. And a TV series or whatever it was. I can't remember. You know, it's like I don't care. I was just like watching it. It's like Watch Dogs looks good. Please end. I don't want to see you play this for 30 minutes. I'm just not interested. You know. So after that, I was like, this is how you do it. This is what E3. This is what it should be about. It should be about just blitzing us with games. But and I just presumed you of all people. I thought, Lee. I was going to even write a little message because I sent you the link privately.
Yeah. And
I was going to send you a little message going, you're going to love it, Lee. Get excited. So I was like, I really thought you'd enjoy it, you know. I'm long gone the days of watching women talk about handcrafted Yoshis in a shop. And I wanted these games. I love the Dark Crystal announcement as well. I love Dark Crystal. So I was like, Dark Crystal game, this is amazing. Final Fantasy style. I loved it. That's overall. But you got to admit, it ended well.
Yeah. But this is another one. See, it's too far out for me. I would have been, yes, it's nice to see, Breath of the Wild 2 is coming, wonderful. But even after watching that, I felt, when, 2021? Don't show me yet. I don't need to know yet. I know it's in development, and I don't know, it could be, you're right, there were game after game after game, but still at the end I just felt, I don't know.
See, I think the thing with the Zelda announcement is, like, we know there's another Zelda game coming.
Yeah.
And we could probably take a good stab that it's going to be happening in the same Hyrule and stuff. So it wasn't exactly I was surprised that they showed it this early, but it's not a surprise that it's coming. If they showed something that we weren't expecting, obviously like F-Zero or something, which we don't know if we'll ever get one ever again.
That's it. If they ended the Direct with like Retro's game, which is obviously now been cancelled, or F-Zero or something, I would have been hyped as hell. But Breath of the Wild 2, I know it's coming.
Oh, getting a sequel to the greatest game of all time. What a downer. And it looking stunning.
Have you seen, interjection, but have you seen, because Zelda's got short hair now, people have been saying, and theories, wild theories, that she had long hair before. They didn't want her hair to clip through her shawl, her cowl she was wearing. So she's going to be a playable character. I think that's what it was alluding to. Also, I think I was reading somewhere else that in anime, women who like fight in anime always get their hair cut short. It's like part of the they cut it short, and that means they're about to go into battle or something. So could sort of allude to that as well. But that's why it's exciting, because Breath of the Wild is, I think it's the greatest game of all time. But surely most people think it's one of the greatest games of all time. The fact that we are getting another one, probably I disagree. I think it's going to come next year. I think this is next Christmas. Otherwise, they wouldn't have shown it. And it was, it was obviously it's a cutscene, but it's in-game engine cutscenes. It's not as if it's FMV cutscenes. It looked beautiful. I love the darkness of it, and there were so many questions. Like, is it going to be co-op? Is it going to be, there was in a sort of a dungeon. So is it like, are they giving us clues? Like, there's going to be actually dungeons in this. What was that thing that they were riding? And it's like that for me spurs excitement. Thinking about what it could be and the kind of the discussions and the theories. And I thought it was stunning. Obviously, a wave race maybe would have excited me, in a kind of like a, oh my god, but I can't knock it, to be honest. So it's just, I'm just surprised. Nick, give us some perspective on this direct. What do you think Lee's as insane as I think he is?
Do you know what? To be honest, I agree more with Lee than you about Zelda. It wasn't like.
What is wrong with you three?
It wasn't like a big wow moment. It was, Lee's right, it was just kind of, okay, it's coming, cool. See you in a year and a half. Like, it was obvious it's in development. It was obvious they were going to reuse the same engine, probably the same world as well. So, I don't know. No, of course, I'm excited, and everything you've said is true. Like, lots of questions. It's going to be awesome. What does this do? Can you play Zelda co-op and all that stuff? That'll be interesting. For me, by far, the best moment was Banjo. Like, I really, genuinely did not expect that. Especially because they started with the Dragon Quest guy at the beginning. And when the Smash, even like when the first frame of the Smash trailer came up, I was like, it's Banjo. I just knew it straight away.
2 minutes before that, just before the Animal Crossing bit, I messaged, I don't know if it's just you, Greg, or I did it on Discord, I said, they're going to end on Animal Crossing and Banjo. And that's exactly what they did. And then we had even more. Do you know what? I criticise the N64. I criticise Banjo. I don't hate it. I think Banjo is one of the most overrated games, along with Ocarina of Time. But saying that, I actually do love the fact that he's in it. As a kind of a Nintendo history, gaming history, you know, kind of like, it was actually really good to see him, actually. Better than I thought it was going to be. I was like, oh, that's great, you know. It is great that he's in there, and it made me quite happy, actually, even though I'm not a massive fan of him particularly, or, you know, so I was like, oh, okay, I think it's great. I think what Smash Brothers does is stunning.
And it's great that he looks more like his old Nintendo 64 self, rather than that
wangy nose
design. Yeah. And like, I didn't really think it was gonna happen either, because like everybody was sort of bigging up like Nintendo and Microsoft's relationship now, and they're all their best buds now, and we're going to be seeing all this stuff on Switch, and there was so much crossover, and like we watched through all the Microsoft conference and no mention of Nintendo in the slightest, and I thought, nothing's really happening here.
Miyamoto was trending while the Microsoft Xbox conference was on.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a big surprise, and it was just like absolutely fantastic to see him, because obviously I love the first Banjo-Kazooie. But I probably had a different experience watching the conference than any of you guys, because I was at a wedding, so I shouldn't even really have been watching it, but it came at 5 o'clock, so it was sort of all sitting down, getting ready for dinner, and everybody was going through the speech and stuff, so I had the Direct on my phone on the table, but it was in silence, so I couldn't see all of it. I was just kept glancing down, and I think my positivity came from the fact that every time I was glancing down at my phone, it was like, Jesus, it's another new game, another great new game. So like the Dragon Quest reveals at the start was great, and we knew there was going to be like a Bowser joke in there somewhere, so obviously that happened. And then after that there was Luigi's Mansion 3, and I'm looking forward to it. I will love it, but my fears about it, quite a lot of them are being realised because it does look an awful lot like 2, and that goofy style and that font that I absolutely despise is there. It's above every enemy. Every time you try to suck one up, there it is. But I'll get over it.
I'm not sure you will.
And like, I was actually slightly worried at the start, because like all the ghosts looked kind of the same and stuff, and then as the trailer for it progressed, it started showing these different types, and I think I heard maybe in the treehouse there's going to be like the portrait ghosts are back again.
Yeah.
So that was a big relief, and the variety between the different rooms and stuff in the hotel, it does look very good, so I'm looking forward to that. Slightly worried that they still have only given it a 2019 release date.
That was
Because
weird.
Worried about what?
I'm worried it might not make it this year.
It has to make it. I think they're just figuring out like when to place it, that's all.
Yeah, I mean the year is pretty stacked as it is.
Not the end of the year. The end of the year isn't.
Not with Animal Crossing slipping by. Yeah.
No, exactly, yeah. I don't think it is. Before we go deeper into the games, what was like, maybe this is what it was for you, Greg, but what was the sort of disappointment? Nick, for you, what was the other than, obviously, you guys are devastated there's a new Zelda game, but aside from that, what was the most disappointing aspects?
I don't know.
Or nothing?
Well, I wouldn't say... It's disappointing what wasn't there.
Yeah.
Because I did think we would see Bayonetta 3.
Really?
And, yeah, and I thought... Oh, I wrote in the Discord the other day, I can't remember the other one I was wanting to see. The thing, like, when I watched it live, I had a couple of beers and I had a pizza and I was absolutely loving it. And then I watched it again the next day with Easy Allies, and their reactions were just like mine to the big stuff. But I also realised that there's a lot of like fluff, and it's just stuff that's not for me whatsoever. Like Marvel, for example, absolutely not for me. Like Panzer Dragoon, I know some people are really crazy about it. I have no idea what it is. Never played it. Never even heard about. I've heard the name, but I have no idea what that game's about. Contra, again, not for me. Like,
oh really? That didn't impress you?
I never played. What, the N64 game?
Yeah, that's interesting.
It was so weird, It was so weird that we had 2 Wii games and an N64 game in a Switch Direct. So we had Contra, the N64 game, and then we had Just Dance for the Wii, and Pokemon Sword and Shield also looks like a Wii game.
Harsh.
That looks awful. It looks terrible. And this whole like growing battle system or whatever it is also looks terrible.
Awesome.
The graphics are abysmal. Awesome. The overworld, it really does look like a Wii game. Like for me, that was the biggest disappointment. But I'm not looking forward to it, so I can't really say it was disappointing, to be honest.
I hate Pokemon. I think it looks great. I mean, I'm not going to buy it. But
Let's Go looked a lot better than that, in my opinion. Like graphically,
the style kind of.
The style, is much better. It just looks barren. Like compare the look of that to Xenoblade X on the Wii U, for example, and it's night and day. I don't know what they're doing there. But on the other hand, I'm happy we got No More Heroes 3. I was looking forward to that. Luigi's Mansion, it looked a bit naff the first time we saw it, but now it looks really, really good, and I can't wait to play as Gooigi. The worst name ever for a character. Mario and Sonic, I was really surprised about that. I didn't expect that, and that looks pretty cool. I love the art style in Animal Crossing. But the most
we'll get onto that later. We'll get onto that in a bit.
We will. For me, the most exciting game that's coming is Hollow Knight.
Oh my god, you're taking the... Oh, really gutted Zelda was shown. Oh, Hollow Knight, though, was great.
I did hear some brief impressions of Hollow Knight earlier, actually, the Silk Song, and they said it seems to go a lot quicker and stuff, and the way you recover is kind of different and stuff, so it kind of sounded appealing, to be honest.
Can you save it whenever?
I have no idea.
I've seen there's a bench, so I guess not.
Oh dear.
Great. So, Greg, what was the most disappointing thing of the Direct for you?
Obviously, I keep coming back to it. It's all those franchises that I love. They're dear to my heart, and we didn't really see any of them. Obviously, Wave Race, 1080, whatever. So that was kind of expected. And I think I'd kind of got it in my head as well that we were going to see Super Mario Odyssey 2 at the end of it. Like, I kind of joked about it when we recorded the podcast last week. And then I sort of started thinking about it, like, you know what, it could actually happen. And obviously, like, I actually felt we would have more of a chance of seeing that than the Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, but obviously we've seen some footage of that instead. But kind of like Nick, whenever I was watching it back the following day, I did happen to notice a lot more of the fluff as well, because obviously when I was first watching it at the wedding, like, I wasn't watching the whole way through, so every time I checked down it was like something different. It was great, but I sort of noticed more of the things that I'm not so interested in. That seemed to be taking up more time than I had initially anticipated. But there's still loads of stuff there, so I can't really be that disappointed, really, because there's, like, for the rest of the year is absolutely stacked. There's pretty much something every month, I guess, even several things every month.
Yeah, I think sort of going off from what you're saying about there weren't those franchises that you were expecting. I think the biggest disappointment is actually my biggest disappointment for the past 2 years. In all honesty, I brought this up a lot. Is Nintendo. What the f*** are they doing?
Yeah.
What are they making? What are they doing? They've released about 7 new games in 2 years. Like this year, what are they going to release this year? That's new. Yoshi.
Zelda.
Yoshi's not even
Mario
them,
Maker
is it?
2.
It's second party.
Good for
Yeah,
you.
but I'll give him it. Yoshi,
Also
Mario Maker
second
2,
party.
Fire Emblem,
Also second party.
Luigi's Mansion, if it counts.
Luigi's Mansion.
But
but
yeah,
it's still
but
them,
that
isn't
mean,
it? It's
but
still their
they
characters and stuff
themselves
like
are
that,
not
but-
actually doing anything. Then that means really, well, Mario Maker's in house, isn't it?
Maybe every single
Probably.
employee is working on the new
Do you
Zelda
know what?
game.
I honestly would have preferred a new 3D Mario to see a new 3D Mario than to see new Zelda. Even though I really,
Likewise.
I don't know. Even though I really enjoyed
Why?
Breath of the Wild, and it was better for me than Odyssey. Even though Odyssey's great, I don't know. Like, it's just like Lee said, we knew it was coming, so why do we need to see it? I would have been like, A new 3D Mario would have been a surprise.
But why did we know it's coming? Greg expected Mario 2 to be there, and it wasn't. And he didn't expect Zelda, but then all of a sudden it's not a surprise when you see it. Well, hang on, which one is it? Like, we don't know any of them are coming. How many times have they done a sequel to a Zelda game? Once. So
Because
why
they
did we
spent
know
5
they was going
years
to do
on
another
this and
sequel?
built a massive engine for it.
Yeah.
Spent 5 years on every
actually,
Zelda. I mean, ultimately, but I love Mario Odyssey, to be honest. I mean, I'd be happy with either. I expected Odyssey. I think that's why I guess I'm surprised, is because I think no one expected to see Zelda yet. So to see it, it's like, I was genuinely like, and straight away, I was like, that's f***ing Zelda. I was like, what is this? I thought it was like, is it like Monolith Zelda, or it's like, and then when they cut to the, I was like, no, that's Breath of the Wild. Anyway, where were we?
Disappointments.
I kept thinking about you guys hating Zelda. Yeah, disappointments. Nintendo. They just haven't released much, and I don't quite know what's going on. But even if you class stuff like Mario, their ports like Mario U and stuff like that, there's still, they need to be banging out one a month. I don't think that is, kind of gamer entitlement. I don't think it's too much to ask to release a game a month when you think they've combined their handheld and their home console development. They released nothing for the last 2 years on the Wii U. So what's everyone been doing? What's the Mario Kart team been doing?
What's Retro Studios been doing?
Yeah, well, they've been
What's
doing
it?
5
Yeah.
years.
Animal Crossing team. Do you know, I actually think, well, I know, but it's like, it looks pretty similar. It's just like, I just don't quite, is it this leap to HD? They're still struggling with it. Is it, what is going on? Is it that Nintendo realised that they're getting so much support from indies and third parties that they don't need to crack them out as much as they used to? So either they're cutting back or just taking their time and maybe waiting to fill gaps. Like,
They are taking their time, and Doug Bowser came out 2 days ago, I think it was 2 days ago or yesterday at the later, saying that we don't push our staff like Activision do. We don't overwork them. We give them time off. So, yeah, okay. Games are going to be slower.
That's to be commended. Like,
Yeah, oh yeah.
or did they not used to then when they used to release loads of games? Don't know. I don't think what. I think the Switch is amazing. I think the games that they're releasing are amazing. I think it's we're in a golden age of Nintendo. But, and I'm not that bothered because I've got too much to play. But if I think objectively about it, I actually think what they're releasing after year one, these past 2 years, has been poor. Imagine if they didn't have the support and they were releasing this. It'd be in my head, I'm like, I reckon the Wii U had more releases in the first 3 years.
Yeah, we'd be complaining about droughts, yeah. And they'd probably be pushing through things quicker. Maybe they're holding stuff back. Maybe Animal Crossing is nearly ready. But Mark DeRue's pointed out something on Discord. Maybe they're holding Animal Crossing back, waiting for the production of the Switch Mini so they can release it at the same time. And I say, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But
Maybe. I still think that'll be out for Pokemon this year. Still think that's coming this year. Maybe Mario Kart 9 is really far on, but because Mario Kart 8 is selling so well, they're just like, well, let's wait until sales drop off, or maybe there is some kind of strategy behind it. But that's my biggest disappointment, was that I wanted another game from them as well as Animal Crossing, and what we've got no new games from Nintendo, not one, and Animal Crossing's delayed. So it's like, okay. And to be honest, that's what I want to play. I'm looking forward to Doom, I'm looking forward to some other games, but I want to play Nintendo games. That's what I love the most. So it's a bit like, okay. So what, and I don't like Pokemon, so I've got probably 3 games from Nintendo this year. Fire Emblem, Mario Maker 2, and Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
That's
the
it.
one crumb of comfort is they did say during the Direct they did have
actually,
more stuff in development.
Yeah.
But we're not ready to show you
well,
yet.
obviously they do.
But we know that now.
But they were ready to show Zelda.
Because it's coming out in January. Do you know what? I say that, but I actually think that we will get another game this year. I think they'll release one. I think they'll show one in the September Direct, like a port, either like Pikmin 3, Metroid Prime Trilogy.
Oh, port is possible. Yeah, I was going to say like a quirky
for December.
eShop game or something, but no, port is more likely.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
something
please.
like Xenoblade X or something like that, or something like that. Or Mario and Donkey Kong.
And then the boys are going,
shopping
the second time you watched it, I noticed all the fluff. Well, I
Yeah.
noticed the fluff the first time through, unfortunately.
Oh, well done. Well
Thank
done.
you very much.
I know it's a fluff the first time, but I don't expect every game to be for me. Like, oh yeah, there's another one for me.
And yeah, they're kind of missing things like This Is Pool. Where's This Is Pool? That should be coming out soon. But anyway, they've been tweeting like crazy as well, Vufu Studio, saying, hey, do you want a game of pool? Well, I would, but you haven't released it yet.
Yeah, but that's the kind of game that
Yeah.
they could release next week.
Yeah. Grid. Why wasn't it in the direct? It's strange. Just things.
Oh,
Grid
yeah.
Autosport. That should be coming out in the summer.
point.
That wasn't shown either. It's like all. So
Well, we know
there were
it's
things
out, so
that-
why show it?
True.
You got that other Grid game from Square Enix, that motorsport one, whatever it's called. I don't know.
Oh, that.
The little one.
Yeah, the little top-down thing.
Right,
I
as
suppose
always,
I
we're
suppose the other big disappointment. It's not even.
all
I
right.
wouldn't even call it that big a disappointment. It wasn't even from the Nintendo Direct. It was EA FIFA 20. It's just going to be a Legacy Edition, so it's going to be the same FIFA 19, but with new kits. And they're going to the audacity to charge pretty much full price for it.
Yeah.
Wind your neck in.
Okay, come.
I know.
And
Hate him.
And then you bought Unravel 2.
Love EA.
I'm not going
Right.
near Unravel 2. Stuff them.
We're blabbing too. We just chat too much. We chat too much.
I'm alright.
Nick's fallen asleep.
Greg's
Let's just
woken up.
quickly go over some of the big games then. We've got to chat. Let's chat about Animal Crossing. Who's devastated it's delayed?
Not devastated, no.
I'm a man of hyperbole, but pretty gutted. Pretty gutted. What do we think? You said it, Nick. You said it
Beautiful.
looked. You thought it looked amazing.
Exactly what I wanted. Yeah. I love the art
Beautiful.
style. Yeah.
In terms of looks or gameplay or everything.
I didn't watch the direct either. The Treehouse with Animal Crossing. But yeah,
Treehouse,
it's
you mean?
exactly what I wanted. It looks nice. It seems you can do a bit more. I really hope it's not too influenced by Pocket Camp, to be honest.
In what way?
Microtransactions.
It clearly is a little bit, but
They've showed
No way.
nothing of that, no.
No.
But
No way.
you never know what they can show later. But in the Treehouse, they it looks like a clone of the 3DS one with crafting added on and more options to where you can build things. Obviously, it's early days, they'll show more of it and what you can do later. But it looks like there's this air miles system where instead of getting money, well, you get money as well, bells, but you can get air miles from Tom Nook, and then it looks like maybe you can get to another island. So maybe this isn't the only place.
No. They
No.
explained what those air miles were.
What
That's
were they?
exactly what I thought. It's a reward program, and you can just trade them in for sort of other items and stuff like that. So it's like an achievement system. You can't go to other islands. I thought,
Yeah.
what does this mean? But no. Never say never. But
Yeah.
they showed it in the treehouse, and they said, you collect these air miles, and then with them you can use it. It's like another form of currency to buy stuff with. Greg, last week you said about you're worried it was going to be you fear for it that it was going to be too similar, and you're not a massive fan of Animal Crossing anyway. Did it excite you, or did you go, well, that's another Animal Crossing?
To be honest, if anything, I'm even more worried about it now because I didn't see the treehouse footage, so I can't give my opinion on that. But from what I seen in the direct, having it on this wee island made it look even more limited than previously. Like you start off in a wee tent, it's like a wee campsite or whatever, and obviously you build it up. But it did look like, I don't know how big this island is or whatever, but it really did look too compact or something. And I don't know how big the scope of the game's really going to be. So yeah, I was actually kind of worried about it because I thought it would be like this great big evolution of the franchise, because obviously they have been supposedly spending years on it or whatever, and it's kind of it does look very much like more of the same kind of, with a few wee tweaks here and there.
Yeah. I did watch the treehouse section. It when I was watching it, I thought it looked nice. I wasn't blown away by it. I thought it looked like an up-res 3DS version, in all honesty. But the more we look at it, the more I'm like, okay, no, it does look really nice. And I was watching it, and I was like, it does look quite similar. It just does look like pretty much one the same. The treehouse, it opened it up a little bit. It actually did make me think, I reckon it could be a bit more. The size of the island worried me a little bit. I was a bit like, God, is that small? So obviously it's difficult to tell sometimes, and because you know how big things are. But I was a bit like, it didn't look massive. But in a weird way, I think you can do a lot more than in the old version, because in the old version you go into a town and you can like tweak a little bit of it, but that's it. In this, it's almost like before that, and you build a town from scratch. So you build and that sounds quite exciting. Like you can just literally you make the roads like because the desert islands, you can like plow through it and be like, right, I'll have a road here, I'll have this here, and you can craft the town even more. So I actually think the scope of sort of customizing it is massive, which is quite exciting. I think the crafting stuff, and when I first saw it, it's a bit like it's just a different way of getting the material. But then when I showed it, I was like, oh, that's actually quite interesting on how they're doing that and how they're crafting it. Like you get so you can craft things, but you need to get the recipe to craft it, and you can get recipes from villagers. So then I was thinking, so it becomes a bit more of a game to do tasks for villagers, or do things, or do quests, or do more things to get the recipes, to then build the things you need.
Constant rewards, pushing you towards
exactly,
it,
because that's the thing about Animal Crossing. The rewards are collect all the fruit, collect all the fish, collect all the bones, but actually, that's like, that sounds quite interesting. And if you go to other people's villages, then they can give you recipes. They're kind of, your mates, kind of village neighbours can give you recipes as well. And so I was like, that kind of gives it a bit more purpose. So it sounds. I was a bit more optimistic about it. I don't think it is going to be this radical redesign, but we don't know. We only saw the beginning of it, but I think it's going to be different enough. And like they had this, they've got like a mobile phone now with loads of apps on it, and that looks quite interesting. But there's loads of spaces for loads more apps as well. So hopefully that'll release more. But I was thinking, like originally, I was like, maybe you can populate different islands and get a collection of islands, and then you can have like themed islands. Like one island can be your home or whatever, and then another island to play loads of games and stuff like that. But I don't know. It still may be like that, but who knows? But the fact that it's got 8-player multiplayer online, and they've not shown any of that, I just think, please double down on it. I've always wanted so. For example, you can get like a table tennis table in the game. I'm like, why is that not a table tennis mini game?
Yeah.
So you can play it and play a little bit of table tennis, or you get a football and you can create almost like a little bit of not game design, but create rules. So you can create games within Animal Crossing. Create like you plant 2 palm trees on the beach. You get a little ball and you can sort of tell the game, and the ball's across this line, it's a goal. And then you can invite friends over and you can play a game of football, or you can play... That is what I really wanted to do. I doubt it, but who knows. But we'll
something
see.
like that would get me to play it, because that does sound a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I will say is, seeing Animal Crossing, it kind of makes me think, maybe I will just dip my toe back into New Leaf just to see what's happening in my town, see how overgrown it is.
I made the mistake of planting a bamboo around the house, and I went back in. It was quite a while ago now, but when I went back in, the bamboo was just gone throughout the entirety of the map practically. It's amazing.
Oh really?
Yeah. Bamboo just spawns everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, I mean we'll see, but I'm cautiously optimistic about it. But I am excited to see more. But it's kind of gay. Yeah. Although every time when I saw the tree and the 3 apples on it, I was like, oh god, here we go again. The one thing they got bait. So they had you can create fish bait. So that made me think maybe the fishing is going to be much more involved and stuff like that. That's the thing. They just need to gamify it a bit more.
They did show the kind of phone call as well. So you when say on Nick's online, he's playing, and then you get your mobile phone out and go, Nick, come over, and They did it with a local kind of interaction, but obviously not online. But hopefully that will extend to online as well, and it'll be that seamless. That looks good as well.
I don't know. I think you made a bit optimistic there. I don't know.
I am.
Don't know. We'll see. They just need to just really double down on everything. Everything needs to be expanded, but definitely social. Let's get on to what other games. Luigi's Mansion. We've kind of chatted about it briefly. So Nick, if you said the first time you saw it you weren't that bothered about it, the second time you think it looks amazing. What's your verdict on like 1 and 2? Are you like Greg, where you hate 2 and love 1, or you love both? Or
I prefer 1 because it's more consistent, I think, and it's a very, very good game too. I enjoyed 2 a lot, but it took a lot away of what made, like as Greg already said, it's got the sort of more cartoony style, or what did you say, goofy style? I can't remember. Yeah, and it just, I mean, it's fine for Luigi. It's fine, but I really liked the atmosphere and the feel of the first game on the Wii, on the GameCube. No analog triggers. It's annoying. I'm just kidding. But I don't know.
I actually think that is a thing. Like I loved the way it felt in the GameCube one.
Is, yeah,
and the rumble and stuff just felt really good.
It was an HD rumble now. You'll be feeling those ghosts going up your Joy-Con.
I watched a little bit of the Treehouse of Luigi's Mansion, and it looked very good, actually. Like the variety, and like they were on the film set or something, weren't they? And
yeah,
that looked really good. And if it's because I think Luigi's Mansion 2 took me about 20 hours, but you revisit some areas a lot in that game. So
and one took about 20 minutes, so maybe
one's about 5 hours, I think, 5 or 6. But anyway, if it's similar to Luigi's Mansion 2, but a little bit more varied, a little bit more in scope, then it's going to be a very nice little game to play for a week or so. And the graphics look very nice as well. I do, even though it is like a cartoony style, I do think it looks very nice. I just prefer the GameCube style.
I always thought the GameCube one did look cartoony. I
don't understand all this. It wasn't scary, was it? It's fucking Luigi going mad.
No, it was it was the light. The lighting was much better, and the mansion.
It's darker.
It felt it was, but it felt more like a haunted mansion instead of just. I can't remember Luigi's Mansion 2 now, to be honest. But it didn't have the same atmosphere and the same vibe that the first game had.
Yeah, Greg, you played the first one recently, because in my head, I remember Luigi's Mansion 1 just being great because of how kind of funny Luigi was and how scared he was, and it's all for me in my head. It was like playing a cartoon. It was like one of the first games I felt like, God, it's like a cartoon. It looked so good, and the animation it's so expressive. And then 2 came out, and I went, the first one was so dark and more horror. And I was just like, I love both. But Greg, you've played 1 recently, so can you talk about? Because I haven't played 1 for a while, so maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Can you talk about what 1 had that 2 didn't, and what you think is missing when you look at 3 as well? Like, what is that? Because I think my memory's wrong. So
Nick sort of nailed it there when he talked about the atmosphere of it, and it, like, it's just the style of it. They do both have a cartoony sort of vibe to them, but there's a distinct difference between 1 and 2, and 3 definitely leans much more heavily on how 2 looks and sort of feels. Even silly things like the way the doors are designed and stuff, like the weird angled door. I can't really describe it. I can figure it out in my head, but I don't know how to.
As in, like, the one, it looked like he was actually in a mansion, and this one's like in a fun house, like a crazy fun house. Yeah, everything's all a bit jaunty.
It's all a bit wacky or something. Whereas the first one wasn't really wacky.
It was a real mansion. Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. But I like the way that 3 seems to be. It sounds as if Nintendo's taken the criticisms that people had maybe with 2, where like it's sort of mission based, and then you're yanked out every time you complete a task or whatever. EGAD will tell you to come back to whatever. It seems to be that it's all in this big self-contained hotel now, and it's almost like, I hate to use the word, but it's sort of like the Metroidvania style, where you're like, you need stuff to progress to different areas and stuff.
You're gonna have to defeat the boss on a floor to receive the key, basically. It's like a fuse, the key to allow you to go to the next floor. So it is still going to be level based.
Yeah.
But hopefully, you can see the variety already. We've seen the medieval castle and a recording studio. The variety will.
But in a way, it should feel more connected because it is all in this one area, whereas Luigi's Mansion 2 is split over like 5 different mansions or something. So yeah, there's that.
I don't fear, because I didn't mind that in Luigi's Mansion 2, but I still think it's going to be, after you finish that floor, you can either go back down to the ground floor in the lobby area, and then you go up to the next floor in the elevator, and they'll be segmented off as if they were separate mansions.
I do feel like my other maybe slight criticism with 2 is the feeling of actually catching the ghost. Now, obviously, we talked about the GameCube controller, and like Luigi's Mansion seemed to use it perfectly with like the analog triggers and the rumble and like the 2 sticks and stuff. So you really could like feel the vacuum. Whereas when you're playing the 3DS, you don't even have rumble, you don't have the analog triggers. So there's a slight bit of that tactile feedback that just wasn't there. Playing it on the Switch, we're obviously going to get rumble back again. The HD rumble will probably feel fantastic for it, so maybe that will help as well.
Did one feel flat on the 3DS when you replayed it on there for that reason?
Yeah, a wee bit. The controls they definitely didn't feel as comfortable as playing it on the GameCube. It wasn't ideal, and there were some like you could use you had to use like the motion control as well at times, and it just didn't feel quite right.
Yeah. What do you think to all the new moves?
The slamming one looks really good, and like obviously the wee thing to do the jump and stuff.
The plunger I like. That's quite cool. Stick a plunger on a shield and then sack the plunger with the attached rope. I think that'll open up some good little gameplay mechanics with bosses as well. It's cool.
Yeah, should be good.
Yeah, all good. And how are we feeling about the multiplayer? Nick, did you play the 3DS multiplayer online?
No, just
the Luigi Mansion 2?
Yeah, I didn't play the multiplayer, just single player on that one.
Did any of you guys play it?
I did, yeah. It was when I had a bad internet connection, and it was a little bit jerky. It was playable, it was fun, but I can't really speak of it because of the internet connection. I get a lot of disconnects while playing Luigi's Mansion 2.
Yeah. Personally, I don't think I really care about the multiplayer and Luigi's Mansion.
I find
Really?
they showed it on the treehouse, the second section of Luigi's Mansion. They went into the skyscraper. They've got these 5-minute time limits on each floor, and that's something I didn't like from Luigi's Mansion 2 on the multiplayer. Yes, it's making the game flow and go, but it seems unnecessarily tight. They're always, even with a developer who knows exactly what he's doing, they were pushed for time to get to the next floor.
Mm-hmm. I think part of what bothers me is I don't like this just like different coloured Luigi's. I kind of wish they just used like different
characters. Yeah.
Different colour toads.
Yeah, that would do. Like, I just don't like that it's different coloured Luigi's, and then it's like there's 4 of them, and then there's like 4 Luigi's as well. It's just yeah, whatever.
I love I played the online a lot. I loved it. I thought it was great. So I'm looking forward to this very much. I think it should be good. What else? What other games did they do? Like big games? I don't think in Nintendo's games. Obviously, we've chatted about Fire Emblem, but
Zelda
looks amazing. You guys don't like Zelda.
Link's Awakening.
Oh, Link's Awakening. Of course, there's 2 Zeldas. 3. There's 3 Zeldas in that direct.
I have to say, Link's Awakening is probably one of my most anticipated games for the year because I haven't played it before.
Yeah.
And it looks beautiful.
It looks
really
stunning, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
Did you see the dioramas they made in the booth as well? Those are beautiful. Yeah.
When I first saw pictures, I thought they were just stills from the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no, that's actually... it's real. But unlike you, I actually think the little dungeon maker thing looks really good. I think it's... I wonder if we can share them.
No, that's Enuma they sat down with Enuma, and typical evasive, not asking the question. They were like, "Baba, oh yeah, you can share," and you pass the Joy-Con to your mate who's sitting next to you to try the dungeon. I'm like, and then my heart sank. My heart sank during the direct already that there was no multiplayer, and then this just confirmed it. Yeah, there's no online sharing for those dungeons, which is crazy. Because you want to speed run them. That's the whole point of it. Is you build this dungeon and then at the end it shows this is my time. Let me share with Nick on, and Nick, let's see if you can do faster. Because you're only also replaying rooms from dungeons that you've already completed. So it's like I've been through those rooms already. That seems a bit weird as well. Maybe in the future they'll go, hey, use a little bit of free DLC, we'll add some extra rooms or something to shake it up. But as it is now, it seems a bit lacking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to be honest, I thought it didn't look particularly interesting myself. Just the connecting different rooms in random orders or whatever. I didn't see the point really.
Well, that's fair enough. But yeah, the game does look amazing. But they're going to charge full price for this, aren't they?
Yes.
Probably. And I'll pay it.
50-60 quid. Well, all of us will. We all will. Well, the September was quite a nice bonus.
Yeah, that was a surprise actually.
There's a rumour before, and it's like September the 20th. It's like, I was sure it's going to be like December or something like that, November, December. But yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Well, they've added nothing extra to it, so it should be quite quick to get out.
Yeah, it looks like it did on the Game Boy, didn't it? I don't know what they've been doing with the time. Mario Maker 2 is coming out in 2 weeks' time. I can't believe it's in 2 weeks. But you mentioned it earlier. We won't talk about it too much. But they announced in the Treehouse, as I knew they would. I thought it was obvious that they was going to do this. But they're adding in online friends. I mean, excitement for it has gone up even more. And I was very excited anyway. But The multiplayer looks so good. I don't know if you saw the Mario Maker section on the World Championships that they did a couple of days before. It looks amazing. The game looks phenomenal. To play online, like co-op and competitive.
Even though the players were a bit gimps when
Oh my god. The ones who like weren't stamping on the... Oh my... I was like, you've never played a Mario game before. Why have they got these heads to do World Championships when the two of them don't know how to play it? Oh my god, it's annoying. Maybe the pressure when you got 100 people watching you gets to you and you forget how to play, but oh boy was it frustrating. But yeah, is there anything else that we've not spoken about in the Direct in particular?
Witcher 3.
Even like smaller surprises? Witcher 3? Are you going to get it? I know you've just bought it for your PC. Told you to wait.
I paid like £3 for it, so...
Oh, really?
I'm not going to get it for... Oh, no, wait. No, it was about £6 I paid for it. Game of the Year edition. So, no, I won't be buying it for 50 on Switch.
See, it's one of those games as well. Yeah, show 20 seconds of it. I don't know if I will get it. It probably will, obviously, but it depends how it runs as well. I do need to see more. That's something that they could have shown more in Treehouse. A bit more the bigger games.
A Digital Foundry have already done a comparison online.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but you can watch it. It's not looking good.
Was it in docked? It's 720.
720 docked, 540
not fixed. 540 handheld, not fixed.
I thought it was cool to see the announcement of it. I was like, oh, they actually did do it. But I thought it was telling how little of the game they actually showed during that section.
Yeah.
Because it's probably not going to be looking amazing. But the fact that it's on the Switch at all,
it's crazy.
It's fair play. And they're doing what a lot of other companies aren't doing, and they're actually, the whole game will be on a cartridge. They're using a 32 gigabyte cartridge.
Capcom and Square Enix learned something from this, please.
Fair play.
Very fair play.
A couple of little surprises for me. One, we kind of knew, obviously we knew it was coming, but I reckon I'm tempted to pick up the Spyro trilogy.
Yeah,
Better
I
than
might
Crash.
as well.
Yeah, funny enough, I whenever I seen it coming, I decided to watch a couple of reviews of the game that was released last year or whatever, and I sort of thought, maybe I'll go for it as well.
Fluff.
Yeah. Really?
I've played the first game on PS1, and like it's a solid enough platformer.
Okay.
Like the PS1.
The GameCube one.
No, I haven't played it.
Is the GameCube one
Good.
the Ninja one? What's the GameCube one called?
Was the 2 on the GameCube.
Yeah, there was 2. I played one of them on the GameCube. PS1 game was a lot better.
Panzer Dragoon, obviously, it sounds like none of us have played it, and we're not particularly excited about it when we saw it.
Yeah, it looked really slow though. It was like, what's this?
It was a
jerky
bit
thing?
twitchy, weird.
Yeah.
But it's meant to play almost exactly like Star Fox.
Yeah. No, I've played a little bit of Panzer Dragoon Orta on the original Xbox, just a wee bit. So, and I thought it was decent enough. But I was actually really happy to see this on the Switch. I'm almost certain to pick it up.
As long as it runs well. A lot of people were very excited about this. But sounds interesting. And like Nick said earlier, I thought Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games looked awesome, and the fact that it's online, big surprise, big surprise. So I'm pretty certain I'll get that. I like people rip them. I really like the Olympics Games. I think they're really good. So yeah, I'm quite excited about that. And also they've got the. It looks like you can play the 16-bit graphics.
Ah,
So it's almost like
switch
feel
back.
like 8.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can do that,
That's
appeals to me
great.
greatly.
Yeah.
Even if it was just that mode that was online to make it run a bit better, I'd be like, yeah, I would take that.
Yep.
Track and field style, but with Nintendo characters and Sega characters. Sounds good to me. Anything else for anybody before we leave?
Dauntless, something I don't know if you boys are interested in. I like Monster Hunter, and Monster Hunter came on sale with the E3 sales for half price. It was 25 quid on the eShop. I'm like, oh, shan't I? No, I got too much to play. And then they did show Dauntless, and then they showed it in the Treehouse as well. It's looking a good free-to-play Monster Hunter clone, and that'll be coming out late 2019. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's meant to be really, really good.
Yeah.
And it's basically got like the Fortnite Battle Pass.
Yeah.
That's how it pays for itself. And by all accounts, it's like like Fortnite. It's non-intrusive. It doesn't impact the game at all.
Yeah.
All superficial. Gives you achievements basically. Like Fortnite. So I'm quite interested by it. Free to play Monster Hunter game.
Yeah.
Online and cross-platform. I think it sounds really good. Just before we go, 2 things. One, are we getting a rare replay in the fall to launch alongside Banjo-Kazooie.
That was that
Nope.
kind of feeling that I got from the E3 thing as well. There's things missing. There's like, we'll show. Oh, Netflix popped up. No Netflix on Switch, but we got the game. Banjo
rather Dark
pops
Crystal
up.
game.
Oh, no Rare Replay, and that's another thing which finished it for me as well. Rare Replay.
Do you think we will?
Got to be coming.
Do you think
Come
it is
on.
coming?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Greg?
I don't think so.
Yeah, but you didn't think Banjo either, so what do you know? Nick?
Before the end of this year, it'll be on Switch.
Cool.
So you do think it, yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. And finally, are we getting any more games this year? They're going to do a direct in September. I want to know 3 things. Start with you. We'll reverse it. Nick, start with you. Are we getting SNES Online?
Yes, September.
Are we getting a Switch Mini this year?
No, next
And
year.
are they going to announce a new game in September that's going to come out this year?
No.
Greg, same questions. SNES Online?
No.
Switch Mini?
Although I don't see how they can stretch out the NES games.
Oh, they got about
No.
20 more to add, haven't they? SP versions.
What was the second one?
Switch Mini.
Yes, with Pokemon.
A new game this year, announced in September.
Yes, but it'll probably be an eShop game.
Mario vs Donkey Kong.
Something like that, or
Deluxe.
some other sort of wee puzzle game.
I think yes to all 3. Lee?
What was the first one?
SNES Online.
SNES Online. Yes, I think that'll be the kind of yearly.
Listen to 4 old men not remember what each other's saying.
Terrible. It's the time of the morning. I got classes now. I walk into class going, what am I doing? Yes, SNES Online as the kind of year update for the Nintendo Switch Online service. No, not this year for the Switch Mini. That will be coming with Animal Crossing. Don't you think it's a bit... You go September Direct. Hey, there's a Switch Mini out in 2 months.
No, I think they'll announce it in the next few weeks.
Oh, okay. And for the last question, do I think there'll be another game this year? Yes, but like Greg, it's an eShop, quirky little eShop game. Maybe like a collection of Dylan's Rolling Western or something.
Oh my god.
Quite possibly.
So thank you as always, and see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Nintendo Review Podcast. If you like our content, please don't forget to subscribe, give us a like, and ask us a question. You can find this very podcast on all good podcast providers such as iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, and YouTube. Just search for the Nintendo Review Podcast. We are also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, YouTube, and our very own website, nintendoreview.co.uk, where you'll find great content such as news, reviews, and impressions. Drop by and say hello. Podcast extras! Extras! Podcast extras! Extras! Oh.
Darren's clap.
I don't remember seeing a me.
There could have been a me fighter.
Look, hang on, I'll get it up now.
Oh.
I'll get it up now.
Oh, here we go.
We're gonna watch the whole direct here.
The hero.
We can cut this bit out.
Ice Climbers, Piranha Plant, Bowser.
Yeah, should have done my research.
There we got it. No me's. Did you hear about the turnaround as well with the friends on Mario Maker?
There's no me's that I can see during it. So
Are you photoshopping a me into something? Actually, yes, I watched the Treehouse of that Super Lucky Sale. It's just one of those things, again, like the Direct. You see 3 seconds of it, and it's like, not interested. Then you see the Treehouse, and how it's running, and how it plays, and yeah, it looks good. It looks a really solid 3D platformer.
see, I only watched a wee bit of the Treehouse footage. It looked really dull or something. I thought.
Yeah, it wasn't that good this year. The whole Treehouse, I didn't really enjoy it that much. I've watched all of it in the past, and
The interesting in a way you're not gonna like, Darren.
Oh, wait there. For some reason, my headphone jack. Wait there. Let me plug my headphones in again. Oh, I plugged my headphone jack and a bloody microphone jack. What a dick. Oh.
look, hang on, I'll get it up now.
Oh.
I'll get it up now.
Oh.
What did they do last September? What was last September? Can anybody remember?
Nope.
Big game or small game, you mean?
I mean,
the Direct.
in the Direct. What
It
did
was-
they announce anything? What did?
They must have announced something, yeah.
Let's have a look.
No idea.
Nintendo Direct
I tell you
September.
what,
Like anything?
I tell you what, I'd quite like another WarioWare DIY.
Yes.
Yeah, or a
I love that
Rhythm
game.
Heaven or something like that, yeah. Go on, Nick.
September Direct was Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion, Final Fantasy.
Yeah, one was it?
This is what I'm reading it now. It's what it says. 13th of September, Nintendo announces new
Is that
Animal
not December?
Crossing, Final Fantasy ports, and more.
No way was that September. No way.
That's December, wasn't it?
That's what it says here, September. It's when Town was announced as well.
Could have
Cap-
been.
Capcom
No,
beat
that
'em
was
up, beat 'em
September
up.
because E3 was quite disappointing, and then it was the direct after where they made up for it, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, why didn't they show this video for E3?" Yeah, so you're right there.
They announced Luigi's Mansion
Yeah.
and Animal Crossing
Yeah, in September.
and Isabelle, I guess, in Smash
Yeah.
in September.
Yeah.
But no games that got released that year.
Nothing. Hang on, I didn't see the full list of games.
Wow. So Retro's game,
Ah,
Mario Kart 9.
here we go. They announced new Super Mario Brothers U, which came out on January the 11th, so just missed. You know, they could actually. That's true. They could announce a port in September and release it
yeah.
before the end of the year. So I'm going to change. No, I'm still going to say no because it'll probably come in January. Cloud
strategy.
saves.
Okay. Interesting. So was it last September? It was, wasn't it? Then
Yeah.
that Switch Online launch.
I can't believe
Yes.
it's that long ago that you're talking about Luigi's Mansion and stuff. I can't believe that.
Well, when did we
Mine
have?
isn't it? I
When
thought it
did
was
we
like-
have a direct after that? Because there's not been many, has there? Really, since then?
February.
It was
When-
January, February, late
February.
January, early
Was
February.
it a full one though?
February. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a.
Yeah,
it
it's a
was
big one, yeah.
25, 30 minutes, maybe
Oh, it was-
more.
I really don't remember. It all blends into one.
Oh no, it was an indie showcase as well, wasn't it? There was
Yeah,
two
there
of
was.
them.
No, that was in January. Yeah.
Yeah, that was in January.
Yeah.
Then they had a bigger. Then they had the proper one in February. Oh boy. Okay, can't believe Luigi's Mansion Animal Crossing was September. Like nearly a year ago.
Yeah.
But didn't they announce Yoshi's Crafted World before the Switch even launched? Or was it not in the E3 after the Switch launched?
It was early.
It was very early.
It was
wasn't
early. The first E3 because they had that in Kirby.
They
I
also,
actually feel
they
like
also showed Metroid 4. That hasn't come out yet.
Actually, have any of you played Yoshi's Crafted World yet?
Not yet.
Yeah,
No.
finished it.
And what's the verdict?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I think
Don't
he's,
know what
he's,
happened there.
he's gone.
Oh yeah, you've frozen Darren. I'm gone.
Oh dear.
Oh, he's gone completely. And he's back.
What's the verdict on Yoshi's Crafted World? Worth getting?
Yeah, it's worth getting.
For me, I kind of feel like it's got lost amongst the shuffle.
Yeah.
Like, I feel
yeah,
like I'm
it's-
playing all games,
It's
and
fine.
I'm not
It's
feeling that
fine.
desire to go back to it yet.
Yeah,
And I
good.
don't know
It's
when I
good.
will.
Do you like 2D platformers? Do you like Woolly World?
I do. Yoshi and Kirby are the only games that I haven't really bothered getting yet. That I would probably get 20 quid for each of them. I'd probably pay that.
Yeah.
Go through them.
Why do you get the £84 game vouchers and buy them with them?
Mental. They're having a laugh, aren't they?
I'm going to just hold on for 6 years and wait until they're Nintendo Selects.
No, why don't you get them when they're getting inevitably ported on the next machine?
Yeah. 60 quid.
Get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the
On
third
2D
time.
platformers, your son has put an insane amount of time on Kirby, Darren.
I know. He is obsessed with Kirby. He's obsessed with. It's mad. He can play the same. He just plays the same level over and over
Yeah.
and over. He does the same with Splatoon. It's quite good. He's going through that. He can only do the first few levels, but he'll do it with each gun. So he's like finishing. He's completing all the guns for me. He'll do the same level over because if he can do it, he'll just do it again with a different gun and keep changing them. The only one he can't do it with is the sniper.
Yeah.
What are you doing awake, Jacob? It's
Ah,
It's quarter past one
Jacob's
in
had
the
a
morning.
haircut. Or is it bedhead?
can't hear you,
Can't hear
Greg.
you.
Yeah, haircut. He's been sleeping since about 8 o'clock, so he's just woke up there. I'll have to
Wondering
go
what
back
Daddy's
to bed
doing.
again.
Yeah, I need to go to bed. I've got some acting to do tomorrow, so
Good man.
Nice. Active
practice.
What?
we made a Splatoon cake.
Oh, right enough. That's right. Birthday.
send you
Pictures in the
pictures.
Discord.
You need pictures of Bowser. Oh,
Oh,
your
mate,
Bowser and
nah.
day.
Laura got a Christmas hat to replicate DDD's hat. It's like that ain't happening. I'll carry the mallet and that's about it. No one other than Hugo there will have a clue what's going on. Oh boy! Right.
Wait, are you wearing
So-
are you wearing a blue bodysuit or something?
No, I'm not going to put too much effort into it. Not going to put too much effort into it, but it's going to be pretty embarrassing. We will see. Right, bedtime. That was fun. Can't believe leave one.
Do we not need to do a sign off?
Oh yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Oh God, we're not having all this in it.
I know, we're still...
Well, that was good as always, guys. So, see you next E3. Oh, the directs. I'm just going to do the directs.
You know
Do the
what?
directs.
September Direct is going to be awesome.
Exactly. Metro Prime Trilogy, finally. We're going to keep predicting it. But anyway,
And all those SNES Online games.
It's going to be good. Right. So thank you as always, and see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Look, hang on, I'll get it up now.
Oh.
I'll get it up now.
Oh.